This meeting is called to order tonight, December 12th, 2025, Police Accountability Board meeting. For all of those joining tonight, thank you. As we move very quickly, one of the second items after we called this meeting to order already, the second item on the agenda tonight is to review and approve the minutes for the November 20th meeting. Is there a motion?
I move that the minutes from November 20th meeting be approved.
I second.
I have a second. All those in favor say aye or raise your hand if you're on camera.
Aye.
Any nays? The ayes have it. November 20th, 2025 meeting agenda is so approved. Next item is, meeting minutes for November 20th, is approved. Next item is to approve the agenda for December 12th tonight, Police Accountability Board meeting. Is there a motion to approve the agenda for tonight?
So moved.
Is there a second?
So I'll second that.
Okay. We'll move that to a vote. All those in favor of
Aye.
approving,
Aye.
please say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? None heard. The ayes have it. Tonight's agenda, December 12th, 2025, is so approved. Next item on the agenda tonight is action item number 4, any board request. We're going to move rather quickly tonight. We have a heavy lift tonight. So please, if you have any requests for the staff, let's start off with making those requests. Now we'll go one at a time. I see Gregory's hand first. Gregory?
Yes, I request, it's an administrative function for you, Laura. Whenever there is a meeting, especially our ad hoc meetings, the day of such meeting, please text or email us on our personal numbers reminding us of that meeting, because we do not always get into the county email on a daily basis. That would be most appropriately requested that you do that.
I think that would be very helpful. Thank you.
I did too, and the other piece is that sometimes we get locked out. Folks have gotten locked out from the county emails, and so yeah, that's really a great, fail safe to have.
Do it first thing in the morning, then that way it catches our attention and we are assured to catch any meeting we got in.
I see, I don't know whose hand that was. I see.
Mine.
Yes, please.
Hi.
Laura.
I do not have text capability, and we are not allowed to send things to private emails. So I can send it to your government email, but I cannot send anything to private emails.
Go ahead.
I think the better way is because there are some restrictions based on county regulations that Laura is beholden to, so we have to respect that. I think one of the things we can do is probably what I tried to do is one, I tried to get on the county as much as I can when I have a second in between all of the billions of things that I do. And the other is I usually try to put it in my personal calendar myself.
I understand.
So
I agree 100%.
Yeah, unfortunately, she does not have the ability to text or private text and I would like to add that we want to be careful as well with private emails, as I sent out in a group text earlier today, that because if there's ever an audit from the state or county, and there's and there's information going to your personal emails, it's subject to audit as well.
Right.
So,
Bishop, I'm sorry. Is it possible that just a text that merely says, please check your county email?
but that's the point.
Yeah, please.
She has
Yeah.
no way of doing
She
it. So
doesn't know where
what
to
I'll do,
text that. Huh?
so
Okay.
what I'll do from now on, if I'll keep me in the loop with all the ad hoc groups, and I'll take it upon myself as chair to send out a reminder to you, because
Okay.
she just has no way of doing that, and we don't want to lose Laura so from doing something she's not supposed to. So if you keep me in the ad hoc group, Laura, when they have meetings and they're requesting it, if I'll check my county email and then I'll put it in my phone to text that particular ad hoc committee, reminding them of their meetings.
Will do. I'll also pass this along to Mr. Gilman Riley.
All right, and I'll take that. Okay, I'll lift that.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, because the only reason I bring it up is I'm pretty good about staying on top of things, but I had a meeting and for whatever reasons, it went into my calendar on my side schedule. For whatever reasons, my system went down and I just missed it completely.
Copy that. Understood. Things happen. No worries. Are there any other requests from any other member that we need for you'd like to for the staff, please? Now's the time to get this all out so we could stay on track with getting this report out. No other requests? I don't know if this is actually a request or not, Laura, but
Mhm.
it was a little late, but I did email you a forward information. I don't know if you had a chance to get that or not.
Today,
Yes, it was today, but it was it was around.
due to last night's meeting and other meetings, my hours were restricted, so I had to leave early.
Okay. Yeah, mine was a little late. You probably see it in there now. Then I think it was around 1600, 1700 when I emailed it over to you. But
Okay, I'll check.
all right. And it put Forrest on it and you as well. So if you see that, that
I
would
see it.
be you see it? Okay,
I do.
outstanding. Outstanding. Um so that's the only other request I had is to if you can pull that up and have that, of course, in the in the part of the draft that we're working on now tonight.
Okay.
Are there any other requests? I don't want to miss anyone. I'm trying to drive and I don't want to not call you if your hand is up. Okay, I don't hear anything. Nothing heard. Um, the next action item on the agenda tonight is the ad hoc groups reports. So if you wish, we can start with the listening to a group, any listening to updates, and just go from there.
Yeah, I can kick us off on that. I'm just trying to pull up the information. So, um, this was, I think last week, Tuesday, I want to say, when we met. Um, well, we met with the Presbyterians for Police Transformation, and they are part of the Tacoma Park Presbyterian Church. They had reached out to us some time ago with some questions about our previous report, any information that we could provide as it related to the dashboard, for example, and they've sort of kept appraised of the progress that the PAB has made over the years. And as part of that conversation, we talked about those things, talked about the dashboard, talked about some of the progress that has been made, but also some of the technical limitations at the moment, budgetary as well as technical, that we are trying to overcome. It was a great conversation with multiple members of the group, talking about, what our recommendations from last year were, as well as what we were thinking about for recommendations um, this time around, which again are all part of the conversation that we have today. Um, but they definitely expressed a support, for example, for standardizing complaint forms across LEAs, something that we've worked on before, um, and wanted to make sure also that, support that there is officer demographic information in those forms. Again, something that we have recommended previously. They praised our focus on consent searches over the past year and traffic stops, some of the earlier work that we had done over the last year, and also wanted to advocate for additional utilization of the MCOT model across the county. So a few things like that, talking through some of the issues that they see, the again, the recommendations that the PAB had issued before, and I was very happy to know that in many ways we are very much aligned in terms of, again, getting support for some of the recommendations that the PAB has made, and hearing part of the community out about, the concerns that they have, what they've seen, and what they wish we would um, take a look at further in our continuing work. So it was again a great evening conversation with a good group of people, and definitely looking forward to doing more of that.
I just got a text from Chris. He's having connectivity issues. I don't know if anybody else got that text.
I did get that.
Okay, I think beyond that, I'll just close by saying I don't know if you had any questions from the board on that, but again, that was the extent of the listening tour
This
report.
is all the way straight until I move over to the right and give them.
You ain't got to move over if you stay in this lane if you want, baby. Yes.
Bishop, I think you're unmuted if you want to retake the conversation. Otherwise, happy to move us forward.
Thank you. I was having a conversation and was wondering why you guys were doing me like the grandchildren do sometimes when they don't want to hear me say they can't have any more candy. But thank you for that. No, yeah, go ahead. Who's that?
I was going to ask George a question. If he could add those comments to our section on the listening tour that we got from the Presbyterian Church.
Yeah, you want me to add them?
Yeah, because I wouldn't know him, but it's already written, and that would be a nice additive. That's the last thing to go in on our listening tour for the year.
Oh, okay. You mean for the final report?
For final report, yes.
Got it. Got it.
Is that okay? I got it.
I would assume
Now-
just be a couple of sentences.
I'm wondering if and I know we don't have special counsel on for that, but and this is just a question I'm having. If we're putting that out in an annual report that's going up to the county and possibly the state, do we need permission that they said something like that, or are you actually copying and pasting something that they put in writing to us?
No, I was just speaking of general comments from the listening tour. We got that addressed already, and this is just another additive group to our conversations that we've had.
Okay, so you're not saying specifically
Right.
this
Don't
group,
quote anybody. Yeah.
right?
No.
That's the point I'm trying to say. We're not quoting anyone.
We're not quoting. No.
Roger that.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
what we could do in that case too would be as part of the forward that the bishop and I worked on, we communicate some of the community stakeholders that we've met with, and I think that could definitely be a place for a sentence or two about that group specifically as well.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Not any individual quote, but just a general. We got everything else. We missed this one.
Right. Yeah, that could go. That's a good place for it as well, Vice Chair. The forward would be a good place for that. So we can kind of. That's still a working document. Absolutely. Okay. Is there any other ad hoc group that wants to come forward with a report on what they want up, and I know Chuck has been working on something for quite some time now. Chuck, I don't want to put you on the spot at all, but didn't mean to do that. If not,
That is,
we could.
which ad hoc are you talking about, the budget or which ad hoc group are you speaking?
Okay, I know. I thought you had something you were working on that was outside the budget, Chuck. I'm sorry, you were working on a, and I'm driving, so I can't look at my notes to see what that was. But if not, that's okay. We could move on to the newest thing, which is the budget that Richard, Chuck, Alicia, and myself that we met on as a ad hoc group. Richard took the lead on writing something up. So, Richard, you want to at this time just kind of
Yeah, I'd be happy to do that.
Yeah.
And also, I want to make sure that George received it this afternoon. I sent it. Okay, good. Thank you. So Alicia and Chuck and I and Bishop had a very good conversation a couple of nights ago where we could really dig into what we needed. And I confess that as the new guy, I'm not sure if I'm hitting the right tone or format. That's what I'm trying to do. But then by today, with comments and kind of wrapping things together, thankfully, comments from Chuck the other night and from Alicia yesterday, I think we've got an approach on the budget that begins by analyzing the gaps in what we're trying to accomplish. The gaps in in our mission, things that we know that we're responsible for, but gaps that prevent us from getting there. And thanks to George's report, that annual report was excellent in terms of pinpointing things that we're doing and what we're trying to go and where the data is. And in fact, that's it, where the data is and what we were able to extract from that. I'll speak for myself and let Alicia and Chuck chime in, but I think that we could detect that a better management of the data would benefit us and more easily complete our mission. But management of that data means a little more resources, and that's what we were trying to do. And I hope, again, I'm not sure of the format and the tone. I see Chuck nodding his head. I hope he's with us on this. We're looking for something that we could throw in your lap, George, and just make it part of the budget request. Chuck?
Yeah, I would echo that. Two things that really came out of it to me. One is what Rich said. We want to be able to get our arms around data and be able to translate that, particularly as we see it as trends and recommendations. We do realize that we need more manpower to do it. So we're hoping that we can get some funds added to the budget so that we can hire more staff in order to do that.
Right.
And we sort of know that, we can't put the cart before the horse. So we have to identify the mission and then identify what we need in order to carry out that mission and what sort of price tag we're looking at, how much it will cost us.
That was excellent.
Yeah, I think that was one of the main points we wanted to start off with, and I think Richard, you did very well with helping them to understand that not only are we making the request, but here's why this is such a legitimate and accurate request. I mean, it's well written out. I mean, if they want us to do this job, which I'm sure they want us to be successful in, and what we could bring out if we had enough staff. So this is great. I mean, this is
and I have to say that although I was talking about analysis of the past, thankfully Alicia pointed out to me it also has to be predictive of the future, and
right.
managing this data will help us be predictive of future events and needs.
All right. So what we'll do is everything that we are presenting, we'll make sure that the staff is loading it up so we all can go back in and make sure that, we're not making any extra edits or need anything. So far, we know we have an edit coming to the chair and vice chair forward that we wrote together. So we know that's one place for an edit. So we'll just keep putting the stuff up to make sure that we're ready to have this out and be on time for the 30th. So thank you. Thank you for that, everyone. Chuck, Alicia, Richard. Thank you guys again for just turning this around so quick after our meeting. I think it was what, 3 days ago, 4 days ago, and you guys turned it around this quickly. So
It seemed like 12 or 14 hours. I don't remember.
yeah. But thank you. Is there any other group, please? Any other? No? All right. Look like I know Gregory's team have been working. They sent all their stuff up. I know everybody had a chance to see their reports. Gregory, Alicia, I think Ron worked with you all. Is that right?
Right. There's nothing added. Is there, Alicia? Not from my perspective.
Okay.
No, nothing at it.
Okay. All right. All right. Nothing heard. Looks like we're moving along pretty quickly. I guess the next action item is action item 6. The did I hear someone? I'm sorry. Did I miss someone? Oh, I thought I heard something. Is the chair report, and there's no specific report other than that I was able to go over all of the ad hoc groups, and especially the reports that everyone did such a great job. I think this annual report is really going to be a it's really going to make a good statement of what we how far we've come and where we're going and where we could be with this path. So I mean, I'm really really proud uh to have been working with you all thus far on this. Um, so I have no real report. Um, Vice, want to include you on any? Do you have anything you want to before we move to the next action item?
No, nothing additional, Chair. Thank you.
All right. Next action item is staff report. And I guess I didn't see Forrest, so I'm sorry. So, Laura, staff
It's okay.
report.
We don't have we don't have anything from the staff. I'm sorry. There is a notation that the staff has provided feedback and initial review of the draft materials for the annual report. These comments are available in the merged draft on SharePoint.
Yep. Looking at them now.
Outstanding. And I encourage all of us, all board members, I'll stay here, babe. All the board members to visit that SharePoint drive, just to go over your work. And even though it's outstanding, but you know how it is when you at the last minute you see something and you want to make sure that it's on key and point. So thank you for making that available to us, staff, Laura and Forrest. If there's no, that's it with the staff report. The next action item
Yes.
is action item number 8. I'm going to make a motion that we table action item number 8, public comments, until next meeting. Is a motion? Is there a second?
Second.
All right. All those in favor? Due to our heavy lift of trying to finish this report for this year. All those say it. Put it to a vote. All those in favor, say
Aye.
aye. Raise your hand. All right. Any nays? Action item number 8, public comments will be tabled until our next meeting. Uh, Action item number 9 is we go into a work session. I think one of the most detailed and accurate reports is from our vice chair. So, Vice, I'm not wanting to put you on the spot, but it is an outstanding report. I didn't know if you wanted to share that or work that screen or share anything. And then from there, of course, Gregory's team and anyone who wants to go into a workstation, a work session. Vice?
Thank you, Chair. I'm trying to load the report, but I'm having a little bit of difficulty doing that. I see the staff's comments, but I'm not able to edit them immediately. But I think we can start there. I don't know if Laura, I heard you. I don't know if Forrest in here and in the line today.
Sorry, muted. No, I'm the only one here today.
All right. So I think that with that in mind, what we'll need to do, and I'll defer to other members of the board as well, is assuming you've reviewed the draft report, whether that's my report or the fully merged version that the staff put together. I think at this point it would be going through the report and providing any feedback and comments to the comments that have been provided. I'll try to do the same, but I think in the interest of time, um, I don't think that it would be prudent to go through the entire report since it's also subject to change, but based on our feedback. But if you had any questions about the report or specific sections where we should dive into, I'd be happy to do that now as well. So this is an open question here. Go ahead, Greg.
I believe you can go in and do a document edit.
I'm trying to do that, and I think it's just
because I'm trying to, and I'm getting hung up here trying to get to it. For some reason, it's not accepting my account information.
That's exactly what's happening to me.
And I'm not sure if what Force has it tied back to.
Yeah.
Because I put in every Microsoft account I know I got, and none of them has been accepted.
Right. And you're going in through your county email, right? Because I know that's a factor.
Yeah,
that's a factor.
This is part of working sessions that are live, so I suppose just see if we can figure this one out.
Yeah, I think if we can get that taken care of, we all should be able to access it because I just got into it when I logged in earlier and I was going through looking at the comments. And I've been trying to get logged into it. It's not letting me. So the question becomes, is it tied back to Farce's account or something else? Laura, would you by chance have any idea?
I was able to get in using my credentials to merge draft that was emailed earlier today.
Can you open I'm trying to open the document in the Word desktop app because otherwise I can't edit it.
Yeah, exactly. Same thing I'm trying to do.
So if I click edit, I can't. Let me see if it works. No.
Yeah. Actually, when I hit edit document, I get the same thing. Sorry, we can't open this document.
Is there any way to contact Forrest, by text or something, Laura, to
I don't have text capability.
No, is there any way to reach him to let him know that we're having this issue?
Well, I'm gonna go see if it's on the SharePoint, and then that way you can go in through the SharePoint, maybe not necessarily through the link.
Let's try that. Let's see if that helps.
Or let me see what else I can do. Hold on.
I'm trying to go through SharePoint right now, so just give me a second. Looks like I'm able to open it here. But it's the same.
And can you share the screen, George, since if you're able to get in?
I can get in, but I can't edit it. It's still the same issue. So here, what I can do is, I think for now, in the interest of time, we will need to, again, I think if it would be helpful for me to go through my version of the analysis report in case there's any questions from the board, anything that hasn't been discussed. Or do we want to keep to the view only version that exists right now?
And the view only version is the merged document?
Yes.
I see. Huh. Hmm.
Okay, I think it's going to let me in.
You think you got through, Greg?
Well, I'm almost, I think I'm looking for another password it's asking me for. I got to a stage that took me one step.
Okay. Hi, I downloaded the report and then uploaded it to the working docs annual 2025, annual report 2025. Can someone see if
Okay.
they can access it?
Working documents. Okay.
Yeah, I got it. I think it's
Still giving you the same message?
let's get the same message. Yeah, it's because I need to put in my credentials here to open in the desktop app, and for some reason that is not seemingly working.
And when it gives you that message, if you, so you told it to open in desktop
Yeah,
app and it said no?
it does, but it asks me to put in my credentials, and that's where I can't get through. So let me see.
Would you like me to email it to you? Maybe
That
that'll,
would be great. Yeah, if you
okay,
can download it, maybe that will help, and we can try that as well,
sure.
please.
One moment.
In the meantime, I'm just trying. Let me see if this does it.
Sent.
Thank you. Okay, it's loading for me. So I'll just say this.
If it works, I'll share with the rest of the members.
Okay, thank you. In the meantime, what I was going to say is there are plenty of comments in the report that I've like the copy version that is there now. So I think again, if you haven't gone through that yet, that would be the first step in trying to go through this information is going through that any comments that especially align with any ad hoc group or report that you constructed.
Okay, so we're all looking, George, at Gilman Forrest's original submission. Is that what we're doing?
The merged version is and I have it from Yeah, Laura, that seemed to work for
work.
me. So if you don't mind sharing that with the rest of the board,
Yeah, that'd be terrific.
Will do.
thank you. And I can share my screen and go through a little bit of what we have now. But again, I think being that this is the working session,
Yeah.
um, I just want to make sure that there aren't any big questions that, we need to address.
Right.
So share my screen in a moment.
One thing is Ron's name is missing from the board members. In the heading. In the
Oh, I
in the
see.
letterhead.
Got it.
In the letterhead. Ron's name is missing. Ron Wright.
And Laura, are you able
I'll
to?
add that.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, so yeah, I'll share my screen and we'll go through a little bit of this exercise. Let me see how best to do this here actually, because there is a lot of information.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here we go, slowly but surely. Can you guys see my screen at this moment?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alicia, thanks for pointing that out. This is try to exit the footer. This is what it's starting to look like. And again, these are the contents for what we have. So I think forward, maybe what I'm trying to get at here, but there are other things here. Like I said, if there are specific questions that you have about each of these things, we can go through that. Otherwise, again, there will be a lot of comments coming up. So generally what the board has done in all of our meetings, information relating to that, the ad hoc groups that we mentioned, the work that has gone into those ad hoc groups, the hiring and training and listening tour groups. And then on data analysis, the way that data works, right? There are details that we have to make sure are right. So you'll see some of these numbers, and we're making sure that those are accurate. So again, this is all subject to change. But this is where I think it would be helpful to get any additional feedback. Once we go into, there's one section though that I think I went through, I don't see right now, it's the methodological section.
Page.
Yeah, let me see if I thought it was before this. It should be before this, if anything. Okay.
There it is.
Yeah, so this is just the executive summary at this point. Sorry, I'm just going back and forth. So this is the executive summary of the entire report. So I think the way that I look at this is this should be the main title, executive summary for the entire report.
Okay.
But
Yeah. Right there, if that's the case, should that then not be after the executive summary, that first section?
Because yeah, the way that this is laid out right now is so we have, and this could remain the case. So we're talking about the ad hoc groups at the top, and then the data analysis section is this section, and then we have the appendix to think about what data we want to provide in addition to the report, raw data. So if you guys think this is good, I'm good with this as well. It's a matter of laying this out as clearly as possible.
Well, I suppose, George, there's a couple of theories. If you want to have the executive summary at the very beginning and then have everything fall after, because what we did here, you start out, you went into ad hoc groups, got that out of the way, then you did an executive summary. Should that not been included after the executive summary?
I think the way that I wrote the executive summary was for the data analysis section, but I wonder if there's well, I don't know. I was wondering if there's a better way of again summarizing that information. There is like the data analysis report is about 20 pages long, so I think it deserved an executive summary.
Yes, it does.
So if like I said, if this looks good to you guys, I'm happy to proceed as it is.
Right. Are we looking to, George, I was asking, are we looking to, it's a 32-page document, and I'm fine with that.
Oh, okay.
But are we looking to um cut it down because it is considered to be large? I mean, you know what I'm saying? What is it we're
Not necessarily. No, I'm just thinking about whether this might be a little bit too in the weeds, but this is a working session after all. Whether
Right.
the executive summary portion of this section
Yeah.
is well understood. Like if that is not confusing, that this is just a executive summary of a section of the report.
No, that's important, and that's appropriate where it is.
And that is important to have it that way.
Yes.
But
Okay.
then overall, you may have a total overall executive summary that talks about this, this, and this. And then and then when you get to the data analysis, it has its own summary.
I think maybe the forward will accomplish some of that, which is what we're missing.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Right at the front end here.
Right.
Exactly.
So, and I want to say, should this also be chair and vice chair? Live edits, gotta love them. Okay, so again, as I walk through this, again, I don't know that this will be as helpful to go through just me here, but the executive summary, of course, tries to encapsulate everything that we're trying to provide in terms of data, and also in terms of, and so like the data analysis report basically starts here, explaining what the purpose is. I know, Richard, you read through it, it seemed to me. So, and you also provided some feedback. So as you go through that here, once again, I think it'll be important to note whether that feedback has been incorporated as intended, because this is part of the staff as well.
Right. I want to just quickly go back to what Greg said, and I'm agreeing. And maybe I'm just an old bureaucrat, but a lot of readers never get past the first two paragraphs of a report. And so the executive summary, admittedly, I like your executive summary under data. That's important. Or although it could be called summary. Executive summary at the very top of the report is what the people with very little time on their hands, strike that, people with very little time to adjust to it, want to read two paragraphs at the very beginning of the report, up higher than section 4, that tells them in an executive summary, what is this thing they're about to flip through?
Exactly.
It's like the teachers, like, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to tell you, then I'll tell you that. And then so it's like, I like an executive, again, I'm an old bureaucrat. I like an executive summary at the very beginning to say, what is this report about? And then go ahead and do the report.
And that's kind of where I was going. I appreciate that, Richard, because I was going to come back to it again, but you got there before I did.
So I'm making these edits now here, but essentially something along the lines of that, changing that to summary. We'll have the forward here, and then a section in between these two that is an executive summary of the entire report itself.
I get that.
Right. Yes.
Yes.
Like
it's like the reason for reading the report appears right in there.
Correct.
If you excuse me, I need to get a glass of water. I'll be right back. I promise.
And George, you'd put a couple of salient points in that executive summary, so that if that really, if there's something in the data analysis that's really salient, they can catch it there and then move on.
Okay. So, and what I'll do, Laura, since you're here, is I'll try to make some of these comments here and then either send it back to you via email if that's easier because I can't make changes on SharePoint. And um, you and Forrest can work through those if that makes sense.
Okay.
Going through here, so yeah, so again, intro and background. The methodology section, just as a reminder, this is something that Forrest was working on, given the manipulation of the data that was required. And I think that it would be helpful. This is relatively new to read through that. In some measure, I think some of the feedback that I would have is that um, for some of this, I'm not sure that all of it is necessary. For example, um, the extent to which these expressions might cause confusion. This is something that I was hoping Forrest would be here to try to walk us through because it's not something that I have actually read just yet. But this is new. So this is what we needed to do in order to take the information that we received across LEAs, and what we used was the perf categorizations, if you guys remember that report, to contextualize all of the data because it can be disparate across LEAs, trying to get categories that are broader for us to use and make
Exactly.
sense.
Right.
So there's that I would also encourage everyone to read through and make comments to.
Okay, which expression are you referring to exactly, George? I'm sorry.
So right here, this is page 11.
Yeah, the algebraic
Yeah, there's and this
calculus.
exactly. There's information as it relates to why or how, like in this case,
Right.
for example, a category, how the determination is made that a category is unique.
Yeah, is that needed though? Is that needed?
That's something that I think we should discuss
I don't think it's needed.
in terms of language, in terms of what needs to be in there. But again, I don't know the extent to which all of us have actually read through this yet.
I concur with Alicia's comment that
Yeah, it's not needed.
it's not needed because it won't be read.
Okay.
And it's not needed for our purpose. The community is interested in knowing what we're doing. They want to know, are we doing our job? They've sent us to oversee the policing and to make recommendations based on data to improve policing. And any so if we keep that as a central focus, anything else over and above and different from that maybe is superfluous and can be easily, in my opinion. I don't know. Did Forrest put that in there? Who put that in there?
Yeah, this is for
No. Yeah, no.
Yeah. Typically, in a report of this nature, if there are algebraic equations used to justify something, that would appear in a supplement, but we don't even need it in a supplement.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other comments or feedback on this?
Just a quick question. This is the fourth report or the third report coming out?
Yeah.
This is the third. I believe
Third
the
one.
third.
And so how does this report comport with the previous reports in terms of layout and content?
It's decidedly far more extensive,
Right.
far more involved, far more detailed because we actually have working data over 3 years that we have looked at and examined and analyzed, and with under the help, the very extremely incredible help of George. And
yeah, I'm sorry to cut you off. To be appreciated, of course. But I kind of, harken back to what Richard was saying that, and kind of Greg has been alluding to. 32 pages, people are not going to read a lot of this stuff. And I think in some way, maybe you can link it, certain information that's voluminous, that they can, attach to it outside of the report. Um, and so
Yeah.
you still have the additional information in detail, but not a 32-page report.
I don't know that I hear you, Ron, but I thought about that, but I'm like, I don't know that I think that there are quite a few folks that are going to really go through this report. And
Really?
one of whom is on the call.
Let me ask,
There are quite a few folks.
in relation to other board reports, how does it measure up? I mean, are they similar in nature, where it's a 30
Good
some
question.
report?
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly what the page count is across other reports, but what I will say is that all of the information that we included in here is
It's
information that we
relevant.
gathered. Right. It's
Right.
information that I think needs to be presented.
Mhm.
And so there are, of course, I'm sure, ways in which we can make this a little bit more streamlined. I think we're doing that right now with the methodology, like the methodology section specifically. But, just to go a little further, this is some of the data, complaints received by the board. Um,
Right.
some of this might need to change a little bit because these were changes that were made to the report that I sent over. So I think just take this with a grain of salt, the information that you're seeing. But how the complaints distributed by zip code, for example. Um, what are the trends for the ACC caseload and how do they distribute? So there's a lot of information here, I think, to Alicia's point, not only that is going to be of interest to other members of the public, but that are going to be expected
Yep.
from other members of the public.
Yes.
So
I-
I think
Yep.
I would err in the side of more rather than less in this case, just for the sake of transparency.
I have no problem.
Mhm.
I have no problem with the length. And in fact, I happen to really like the level of detail you've got in, other than the mathematical equations.
Mhm.
But I have to say that there's a thing that I used to warn my staff of, is what's called the Z factor. And I'm going to tell you, George, there is no Z factor in here. And by that, I mean, what is it that makes people go to sleep?
They're not going to sleep.
Yeah, I don't find that in this report. And
Okay.
so, long or
That's good to
short,
know.
huh?
That is good to know.
That's
Yes.
good to know. So I find no Z factor in this report, which I find to be very helpful.
And Richard, in actuality, George, when you look at the report, when you talk about number of pages and length, because of the graphs and the substantiating documentation behind the graphs, that is what extends it. Our previous reports,
Yes.
our previous reports were
Yeah.
much shorter, but they did not have the type of information. So from a perspective of, will people get tired? No, they can dig into it. They can come back to it. It would be, if we did not have this, it would be lacking. And then there would be questions as to.
Yeah.
Correct.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I just add, and I have to run off,
Mhm.
I'm sorry,
Mm-hmm.
but I really want to I think there's something that needs to be really highlighted and as the main point. This report actually is written for the council, the executive, and possibly to go upstate,
Correct.
the state legislator.
Correct.
These are the people who are going to be reading this report. This PAB is a state mandated organization that is written into law.
Yes.
So when those that are up top, these representatives, these county council, probably even state senators and their staff, they are the ones who are going to see this report. And so I understand we're saying about people, and I thank you, Richard, about the Z factor, and it doesn't have it because it doesn't. This is what we need to really understand. That's the real context.
Right.
We want as much information in there so they
Yes.
could see that we weren't just twiddling our
Correct.
thumbs,
Correct.
and that we're talking about people's lives and community, making this county a better county.
Correct.
Excuse me, county. All right, just want to add that. Thank you, guys. I really have to.
So I just want to maybe piggyback on what you just said, Bishop. That makes sense. But would not the audience also be the public? And are we anticipating the ability to delve through some of this more technical information? And also, um, what was, if any, comments received from the previous reports issued from the state or otherwise the public in terms of critique of the previous reports or requests for additional information?
Yeah, that's
Can
a
I
good
Any
can
question.
I
made?
can I
Go ahead,
respond?
Alicia.
Because I I I get pretty passionate about the work we do, and so I've read those critiques in detail. And this report, to me, kudos to George. This report to me fully addresses many of the concerns that were raised and raised repeatedly.
I concur.
Yes.
Yeah, I appreciate the vote of confidence there. Ron, just to answer your question, part of the feedback that we received was the need to include more detailed information.
Yes.
And especially as it related to ACC outcomes, not only complaints, and this is what we tried to achieve this time around too. Like I said, we'll see exactly how this turns out, ideally with all of your guys' feedback as well. But that in part is what we're trying to achieve. Is again at the end too, something to consider is that we are trying to decide as a group whether or not to include additional raw information, raw data that we used um, to come up with this report. So that could also be, just providing more information rather than less.
Well, let's not forget too that our budget request, and I know we haven't gone into detail on that, but we are asking for resources for more data. So we don't want to turn around and have a report that contains less data.
Correct.
That would be inconsistent.
I wasn't suggesting containing less data, but being able to access more technical data outside of the report if necessary. But I understand. I mean, you've gotten the feedback. This also informs what it should look like today. I have no comment on the substantive nature of it. Just right now, the length of it in terms of
Yeah.
how it will be received by the public and whether or not they will read a lengthy report and whether or not it could be, tempered with links to certain information. That's all.
So George, have we all agreed that we are removing the algebraic
Yeah, I made a
formula?
comment on that. Basically, I just went to the top and broadly said that we need this section to be a bit shorter, specifically by removing the expressions on the rules and simplifying the language.
Yeah.
So I can be more specific and say,
And I'll go even further. Maybe I'm on page 12 and right above 4.4, it says this rule imposes a general requirement that police officers employed by MCPD follow the law and departmental policy in each instance in which an officer has been admitted. But from there down to right above the 4.4, take it out.
you're talking about this whole thing?
From this rule, where it starts with this rule down to usage, gone. And any further algebraic equations.
I think the only thing is that this first sentence at least is talking about this rule. So it says, for example, NCPD Section 3 rule provides that the following, and then this rule imposes general requirements.
I don't think it's helpful. So let's if that's then take that out as well, because I really think what you've done is and this has been added by Forrest, I get it, but no. That's just my where I come out. I don't all of this algebraic out. I mean, yeah, no.
Well,
That's my that's where I come out.
At least the first sentence of this rule paragraph, at least the first sentence is apple pie. I'm not.
Yeah. So we're saying remove this.
Yeah, because we're not submitting this for a thesis. This is not a thesis or
yeah.
Okay.
And yeah.
Yeah.
And it is going to be read by council members and in my experience, plain language always wins the day.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, same here. Okay. Okay. So I've done that. Those will go.
Keep.
Maybe what I'll do is let me know if this is too difficult to see, but I want to try to show what my draft was versus what is here. In case it will help me, but in case that helps you as well. So we're looking at complaints received by the board. Some of these titles have been changed to, a better. It describe what the data describes here. So for example, I submitted 2023, 24, 25, and there was an addition of 2022 as well. And again, some of those numbers will change slightly because of the criteria that was used for like just making sure that the numbers remain accurate. But one thing here that I think I need personally at least a little bit more information with is that this chart describes complaints received by the board in 25 this year through the 30th of November. And it seems like we've received a lot in this month, which now in this side of the document, we're not really explaining why. When I initially sent this out, I used complaints received by PAB like by when the incident month happened, which perhaps would be better to use by the month that we received it. But again, I think we would need to explain why we received so many in November. I'm not sure, Laura, if you know why this is the case.
Laura?
If not, I'll just make the comment here that this is, unless I'm missing something that you guys are picking up on, I am not understanding that.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
Well,
I agree with you, George.
Yeah, it looks like a spike. That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
So what's
and right. Laura?
Yeah, so here what the staff is saying is that based on what is written in the previous paragraph, they changed the chart that I submitted. Because we don't have data for 2025. And what I submitted was this by incident month. So yeah, I think I'll just ask for clarification here.
And I would say in the future, we may want to consider it by incident month.
Sorry.
That way we can pick up trends a little better. If this is an administrative thing where people are waiting until November to get their
So, you all haven't, I'm sorry. I was muted in two different places.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Laura.
My apologies. You all haven't received the information, the quarter four information, so that's not given until after October. So that's why it was changed. So
I think the what is confusing to me at least though is that like this describes complaints received by the month in which the PAB received the complaint, which could speak to, I think, to Chuck's point, could speak to like an administrative rhythm of things, not necessarily when the real interaction with the police officer happened. And to me, at least right now, this looks a little bit misleading because what we're saying is that we received a bunch in November, but the reality is that when those interactions occurred may not have been November.
I think I go with Chuck's point that I think we ought to adopt a standard. What is the standard for all of our reports from page 1 to page 30, whatever, and for this month and next month? And you've just alluded to that, George. Maybe we ought to be using, and Chuck did too, incident, the date of incident or month of incident, and just do that all the time and do it for all reports and do it from top to bottom. And that way we can compare as we go through this month to month.
Yeah. Yeah, this is still a little bit unclear.
Yeah.
This distribution as it is right now seems a little bit more stable
Yes.
than this one,
Yeah.
except for November.
Yes.
November looks okay. Like if we take November out, it would look okay. But I think we're speaking about when things occurred, not necessarily. At least that was my.
So do we want to add a footnote there or an asterisk to explain?
Yeah, I'm
the-
adding it to the
Gotcha.
comment. Yeah, I'm adding it to the comment.
Gotcha. I mean, for if we're going to leave this as is, for the public to be able to see what this may be attributed to, that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or no?
Right.
Yeah.
But Lisa, but not only the public, also the county council and the delegates as they read up, because anyone that sees that going to go to Paul and say, "What the hell happened?"
Right. Right. So like an asterisk within the report itself, or some footnote there.
You can just put a footnote right at the bottom of the graph.
An asterisk right under the graph.
Exactly. That's where you put it.
Explaining what it may be attributed to. What this, spike is attributed to.
What it is attributed to. And Laura was saying it's based upon when the actual information was collected.
Yeah.
Okay. I hope that's clear. Okay, then after that, we're talking about and sorry guys, I'm gonna do this again. I'm just gonna follow the report that I created because I'm just more familiar with it. But this is pretty much the same. We're looking at complaints by zip code. And this is I think this is the submission. So the complainant where I believe the incident occurred.
Right.
And so this is a little bit of a map of the county describing where those happen.
Right.
Beyond, Tacoma Park, Silver Spring, and I'm talking about 2 or 3 incidents in that cluster, 2 in Montgomery Village. Everything is pretty much spread out. So I think in my assessment, that is more as it relates to, urbanicity, the density of the populations within these communities versus, anything that the police is influencing, beyond population. If I understand, I'm making the point well. It's 7 p.m. Friday night, so forgive me. Okay, so if we move on, nothing else there. There's some edits here for what complaints. This is now going into ACC cases, and how those have distributed over time. How many police officers were included and allegations included across all of these, as well as how many officers were charged. There's allegations administratively charged, and there's officers who are administratively charged. So here, I think Forrest made an addition by saying how many of the allegations within the cases themselves were administratively charged. Does that make sense? Versus
I see total allegations.
Yeah.
And then he's saying that the number of total allegations was 434, right? And then he's giving the number of those that were
charged.
Okay, but
officers that would charge.
Yeah, but some of it might be a little bit is that clear to everyone? Because one number is number of total allegations, and the other number is
Yeah.
police officers.
It's
I
not,
think what
it's not clear.
It's not clear.
Yeah, I think what we could do is maybe move this one up. So when we talk about total respondent police officers, it's 258. Immediately follow that with officers charged.
Right. And
Maybe
take
a little
out
bit
the
of a
total.
space in between
Right.
those to have allegations, total allegations, and then I don't really know that we need
You don't need
charge
total
allegations,
allegations.
but
Yeah,
that's,
you don't need total allegations.
you're saying this one or this one?
I'm saying that everything seems to go together coherently except for total allegations. Why is that? Why does that need to be put in there? Allegations are allegations.
I can tell you why I included that, and it's because when you think about one case, one HCC case,
Mm-hmm.
an officer may be charged for one
Mm-hmm.
thing, but
Mm-hmm.
exonerated for another thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so one case may have multiple allegations of misconduct,
Mm-hmm.
just as it has multiple police officers involved. So it's more
Right.
of a description of how complex like a single case can be.
But do you think that it's important? What I'm saying is that I was saying that, and everyone can chime in, that if you remove total allegations and the number, I think it's more coherent. I just think it's more.
I can agree with that. I don't have any objections to that necessarily. I just don't know if we need how many allegations were charged, like this one. But in any case, we could remove both of these.
Yeah, you can take out the administratively charged too, because charged is not a finding. It's not adjudication. So what do you guys think?
Let me, I'm
Wait.
struggling with this, but let me try to chime in. I agree with what you said, Alicia. But in addition to that, we're using a noun, officers, which is quantifiable. We say 258. Is it possible that there are actually 258 different officers who were charged? Or is it 258 charges against a number of officers?
No,
Right.
it's the number of officers involved across cases. It's
258 different officers?
Yes.
Oh, okay then. Thank you.
Yeah.
Right. See, that's, and I think that because of where your eye goes, I think that it would help to take out the total allegations.
Yeah.
And to take out the allegations administratively charged.
She's right.
I don't know.
I agree.
I can do that easily. Okay. Good.
Good.
All right. Then we go into understanding the cases, respondents and officers charged. I don't know why. Let me see. We're making a differentiation between. So respondents here are officers. That's what we're referring to here. Let me make sure that I did the same. Yeah, so just rereading it, I don't want it to be confusing that there's somehow one category that is respondents and another category that is officers charged. This should be cases, number of officers, and then of those officers, how many were charged.
Good point, George. So respondent is the synonym for officers.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to say that.
Okay.
Well, or
why not just use the same term?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Officers
Consistency.
Officers.
versus
Just
officers charged. Right.
Or respondents charged, whichever case it should
Yeah,
be.
exactly.
And or for the general public, you could add a little footnote, or again a little asterisk explaining respondent refers to blah 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 blah, because the average person in the community may not know what is complainant, what is respondent, what are those terms.
And my question to that is, why would you need two different terminologies for the officers?
Yeah.
I think
Exactly.
so. Just
I
keep in
agree.
mind that
For the benefit of the public, I think if you just use officers, they know exactly who you're
I know
speaking.
what you're talking about. Because this is not
the thing is
charging.
too that officers, maybe we should say like responding officers. I mean,
No.
the thing is that not every officer that responded to an incident
No, we have
is
to be
being
careful
charged.
here. This is not because if we use the word respond, the verb respond, in terms of officers responding to an incident, respondent in a legal sense has a very
Very
specific.
different meaning. And that's where
Yeah.
I'm totally confused, George, because I'm thinking of complainant and respondent. You see what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So maybe we should just use officers. Should we say, because again, I think it's important to clarify that not every officer that responds to an incident is being charged. That's what this graph
Right.
is telling us.
So,
So
so you can even write that in a little asterisk again or something so that people know what does respondent refer to here.
Here's a simpler way which takes it out. Say responding officers, and then say officers charged.
There you go. Take out respondents.
Exactly.
Make
Yeah,
it responding officers,
that's good.
Yes. Yes.
and then officers charged.
Yes. Yes. And that goes with the graph too.
yeah,
Take respondents out of the graph and put in responding officers. That
Okay.
orange square.
Yeah. I added that in there.
Yeah.
I added that in there.
Yeah. No, take out respondents and put in responding officers. Yeah.
All right. So moving ahead, some timeline to committee decisions or from incident to committee, like the time that it takes the committee itself to do their decision as well as the investigations. I think that's pretty clear there. And then here are the number. Oh man, hold on. This is not how I titled this either. Let's see. These are allegations.
What page are you on?
17.
20. Okay, let me give us 17.
Move this a little bit.
I have it on my computer. I don't have I'm not able to do what you're doing, but
the way that I describe this is the number of allegations considered by the ACC.
That's better.
The number of times category applicable.
No.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
No.
Me neither.
No.
Take it out.
It's
Take
word salad. It means
confusing.
nothing.
Confusing.
Okay.
Your version was better.
Yep. My understanding was that Forrest was not going to do these things that have occurred that he has done. My understanding was it was more at this point grammar and typographical errors.
Yeah, I mean there are things that are important that need to follow like certain county rules that I personally don't know, what is required, but I don't think that would be applied to the title of this graph necessarily.
Agreed.
So yeah, I think that I don't see why that needed to change necessarily.
Right. So and that can be, well, yeah.
But again, this I already added that comment. This describes the across categories that we used, how many of them were charged, or at least the share of charged, exonerated, ineligible, or unfounded. And then again, below that is the same, but across specific agencies themselves.
And why? I'm sorry. What? I'm looking at page 17 across all committee reviewed cases. Okay, that second sentence, 5 categories, parentheses. What is that? Why is there a dash there? What is that?
So if I accept this,
Can we take out that parentheses with that dash in there? What is that?
I don't know. I'd have to see the final version, but
yeah, let's take those out.
Is he looking to describe the 5 categories?
Yeah,
I have no idea.
It's fine. It's just that there's a line that is deleting this, and then there's a dash.
Yeah, there's a parentheses and a big dash and another parentheses.
Yeah, so let me see.
And as if it's meant to mean something. And
yeah, I think that would work. So I deleted those, and then I'm adding Okay. There are some, so now here I think if you guys read through it, I went through some of the rules that each of these big buckets comprised, and some of these rules, I think Forrest is mentioning, like some of them don't exist. Some of them maybe I made a typo or they substituted with the specific MCPD rule. So again, this is part of the accuracy
The way
part.
it's set up doesn't make sense.
Okay, where are you, George? 4.62
Yeah, 4.6,
or 1?
yeah,
4.6.
4.62 and 4.63.
Ron,
Ron, mute yourself.
no, you were breaking up, Ron. If you're trying to give a comment, it's not clear.
I think he's not. I think he's talking 4.62 and 4.63.
Yeah.
You're there?
Yeah, I'm there right now. Can you guys see my screen still?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
I do.
Just want to make sure. So yeah, so just saying that some of these, so this is somewhere where Forrest and Laura are looking at accuracy, that these rules are still in place, that they are accurately written out, that there's no confusion there.
That's fine. They can do that. They
Yeah.
can tweak those rules, the names of those rules. That's fine.
Yeah, and I think so they're just substituting some of these rules here.
These rules are foundational. Who wrote that?
Where are you?
These rules are foundational, but often written broadly, which
I
could
think that's
make
me. I'm pretty sure that's me. Let me see.
Yeah, that's
Well, these
maybe
rules.
let's take that out.
yeah. I was going to say, Alicia, you're right. We don't have to preach here.
We're dealing with. You are brilliant, George. My brain is trying to move as
All right,
fast
you're
as
good.
yours.
This is why this is why I this is important. You're saying remove this.
Yes.
Okay. I think it's the same thing for this if you get what I'm saying. So it's
Yes.
essentially saying
Yeah.
that some of these rules are written broadly on purpose, and it doesn't make for consistent
No.
application. Same thing here.
It takes people. It takes grandma through the woods and over the river and
Yep.
too much.
Yep. Take it out.
Agreed.
Take it out
So we
again.
want to take
Take
this
it
one
out.
out here too, yes?
Take it out. Yep.
Okay. Same for here. There's a little paragraph for each of these. So like um here it's more of a conclusion, I suppose. These policies prohibit biased behavior.
Yeah,
But
take it out.
obviously
Take it out.
they happen enough.
Take it out because we actually, and I really get quite into addressing, which policy recommendations. So you can take that out. Although these policies, let's take that out.
Okay, take this out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And
First policy. That's
this rule. Go ahead. Go ahead, Richard.
well, across agencies is almost like a PR statement.
You're saying maybe like remove this?
I'm going to defer to my favorite.
Yeah, yeah. Take it out.
What exactly?
Take out across agencies. These rules tend to be more detailed than others, but would benefit from clear expectation. Yeah, yeah.
Take
the whole
this out.
paragraph.
Take it out.
You're saying
Take it out and you'll see it'll make more sense when you get down to, because I'm very plain. I try to explain things to people who are second language learners. I make things as plain. They are very smart. Some of them brilliant, but you make things as plain as can possibly be.
So you're saying take this out.
Take it out.
All right. So Forrest is saying here that this is covered by state law, so I figured we could probably take this out.
Oh, well, hold on. Slow down here. This rule could, oh, I see. This is a recommendation going forward, though. Could benefit from clearer guidance.
Yeah, so I'm saying that this is specific to RCPD. Forrest is saying that this is covered by state law and other directives within RCPD, so it may be overstated, is what I'm gathering.
I'm not
Well,
trying.
then take it out, because then that's going to confuse folks.
Yeah. So
And we don't want them to get into, yeah, the state caught up in the state law versus what we're supposed to do, what our mandate is.
So at the end, though, here we're saying um, these patterns are the things that we removed. So I would say we would need to remove this,
Yes.
and maybe we can keep, these 5 categories of, account for the vast majority of allegations, clear rule language.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, you get rid of that first sentence, keep the rest of it because
the
you're
rest, okay.
referring back to that information.
And because remember, I make policy recommendations aligning with the MPSTC standards that are
Yeah.
included in this report.
Yeah,
And that's
we'll get
pretty
there.
clear. That's pretty clear. This is a very brilliant dive and delve and analysis and takeaway from the data. That's terrific. But the folks may not need
Okay, we'll keep going.
the back and forth.
These
Conjecture.
are pretty straightforward, distribution of ACC outcomes. I think this is pretty simple how they break out in terms of exonerated versus
Yes.
unfounded, etc. This is for total, so since 2023
Yes.
to
Excellent.
date, and this is just for 2025. Again, just kind of highlighting that
Very clear.
this remains consistent year over year. Discipline, I think this is also pretty straightforward.
Wait. The data demonstrates that committee outcomes remain relatively stable over time and that the most common disposition across cases is exoneration. We don't need to say that because the graphs say it.
But Alicia, you want to put that in there. Everybody doesn't necessarily always read it the same way.
Yeah, we want to make sure that there is no misinterpretation of the graph. So like even though it looks like straightforward, I agree with you there, Alicia. I wouldn't want to take like what we're describing the graph as saying.
Okay.
Yep. Keep it, please.
Okay, so keeping that discipline.
Disciplinary actions following committee charges span a range of measures. The majority of sanctions involve letters of reprimand, loss of pay, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, again, a little bit of a description.
Okay.
Yep. Again, keep.
Keep across. Okay, among discipline cases, 9% of officers accepted, 90% contested it. This is kind of how that broke out. And I made a definition of severity here, a little arbitrary, but essentially if you get a letter of reprimand, counseling, or a suspension that's less than 5 days, that's lower severity versus if you are fired, get demoted or get a higher level suspension.
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
so
fine.
again, I think here I'm starting to talk about greater transparency about trial board outcomes, which we don't have.
Right.
And that will come again in the recommendations. I think little here, this is ACC cases per 100 officers. So it just demonstrates that it's a little bit biased towards Tacoma Park because they have very few officers. But it's still, I think, important to note that, for example, MCPD, with as many officers as they have, don't really receive a disproportionate amount of complaints based on their size.
I think that's important. I think that's very.
I think that was an interesting.
That's very good to point that out.
Can we normalize that to some other number than 100?
Can we or should we?
Can we?
We can. In my research, 100 was best practice, but we could potentially because we have smaller agencies. I take it that that's where you're coming from, Richard?
Right. If we normalize it on 20, I'm just making that number up, but would it allow us to flatten that curve a little?
The curve.
And we're going to defer to Greg and George because they did the large lift in this.
Well, I'm thinking from a curve perspective, if you say and then put percentages, so percentage wise, it's comparable.
Well, let me also add in there because if this is going to be read at the state level, also we'd want to have apples to apples comparison. Is everyone else using per 100 officers?
No, I mean, I don't know, honestly.
But George, per 100 officers is good because you're looking at percentages.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Agreed.
That's at 100. You're saying exactly. You're saying what proportion out of 100. And again, I think the only difficulty here is Tacoma Park in 2025.
Yeah.
Which also says something about that. Like they received a higher number of complaints than they had in the previous 2 years. So I
Right.
think it merits some observation of that. But if you take Tacoma Park 2025 out, I do agree with Greg that this looks normalized to a certain extent to me.
Yes.
Okay, that's fine.
George, I absolutely love, love, love the upcoming iterations that you're coming up on them.
Well, hopefully I don't have to do that too much with the data that we need, like
I love this
the
because this
dashboard.
is something that people have asked repeatedly to better understand drivers behind these variations. The board would benefit from. Love
Mhm.
it. Love it.
Thank you for that. Demographics, I think this will also be pretty straightforward. Forrest is correcting some of the data here. I had said 381, but there are some differences in terms of complaints. He's saying 310. So he's saying he's just adjusting that to say that at least for complaints that we received, 310 of them have at least one data entry for demographic information. I don't think that that makes or breaks this necessarily.
I don't understand. Yeah, I don't understand the significance. Am I missing something?
Let me see how I just wrote it, just in case it's worth taking a look. Demographics. So I said just that there are 381 complaints with demographic entries. So maybe what we do is there are 310 complaints with demographic information we don't need at least one piece of.
Do we need to have this paragraph? Do we need this?
Well, do we need
I
it?
think
I
so.
think I
Yeah.
think here's the question that I would say is that we have 434 complaints
Mm-hmm.
total,
Mm-hmm.
but 310 of them have demographic information. So there's a gap.
So then that's how you say it.
Well, I think what it points out
Like
that,
really plain, because this is confusing to me. I'm lost.
but
What
go ahead, Lisa, but I was going to add, it points out a question though. The actual complaint system, what type of information is it actually collecting? Does it all provide
Yeah.
collect the same type of information?
I think I get Alicia's point. I think we can say like there are 310 complaints with demographic information, and we could also say, this right here, like, there are another 72 complaints where there's no information. If that makes it clear, Alicia.
Yeah, as plain as possible. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna remove that there. Nothing really here, just corrections of data. Revise the chart.
That's interesting. Female, male. Okay.
Yeah. Complaints received by race in 2025.
Okay.
It would be worth saying changing this to no response versus null response. I think we
Where are you?
defined this.
I think it does.
Say that again, Chuck.
I think it does no response versus null response.
Is better.
I think.
Where are you?
Right in that chart where it says the
Or not
complaints
indicated.
received.
Right.
Actually, complaints is misspelled too. Let me see here. Okay, please adjust title. Typo for complaints. Also change.
No. Oh, I see. I see what Chuck's talking about. Yeah, take out null and put.
No response.
I like. He mentioned. What was it? Not indicated.
Even no response or not indicated.
Right.
You
Right.
want to say no response and or not indicated?
I'd say
Choose
I would
one.
probably say not indicated.
Is this good?
Me personally. No.
Yeah, he says not indicated. I agree.
Not indicated. Okay. All right. Ethnicity, I'll say the same.
But wait, I'm sorry to belabor this, but you have prefer not to say. Why is I don't understand. So prefer not to say can be confused with not indicated. So I mean,
no, because the complainant themselves is saying they don't want to provide that information
Right.
I see.
versus just leaving it blank.
So the information was asked for.
Because I guess what they're going,
Complainant
yeah,
that they prefer not to.
Right.
right. That I understand, but I'm trying to figure out what not indicated specifically refers to. What's that supposed to share with people?
So it just means that that response was left blank.
Right.
Wouldn't it be?
Then put no response. I'm sorry.
Instead of not indicated.
I think that's clearer for me. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Not indicated, no response.
And if it doesn't mess up the tables too much, usually that's the last category, not the
right.
What you have them is
Right.
in descending order.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah. So in both this and the one above, the whether it's prefer not to say or whatever,
Well,
that and other here should be the last category. To the far right of me.
It will not make it descending though, because this African American or Black, for example, will remain higher.
No,
So
I don't want it to be descending. I want other to be the last one marked on the bar chart.
Right. And then so not indicated, whichever we chose, no response or not indicated should be at the end, is what I agree.
Yeah, I think, right. Prefer not to say and other.
And maybe a different color. I don't know.
wait, so you're saying, let me just play this back. You're saying we want to move no response, prefer not to say, and other to the back of the graph.
Correct.
It's usually the way it's done. I mean, when you look at a questionnaire, all those things would be the last choices of A, B, and C, for example.
I agree.
Sorry.
And then equally confusing is the next graph for, I mean, not equally confusing, but for the same reasons. We want to make those changes, either no response or not indicated, and move that bar. I'm with Richard. Move that and prefer not to say to the end.
Yeah, sorry, I don't want to make this.
Yeah. No. Can that be done without too much?
I don't know. I will
much pain?
let the staff.
I bet Forrest knows how to do that.
Well, yeah, all I do is just reposition the numbers when they come in, then it'll graph accordingly.
Okay.
Yeah. Because, and the reason I'm saying it, I won't speak for anyone else. I want to look at like this chart. It's A, B, and C, or like not. And so not's on the right.
Right.
Okay, so here are recommendations. So lots of comments here. So the first is the lack of feedback relating to trial board outcomes. Forrest is saying that we all now have all the trial board decisions. So it might require us to go back and read through them, but I still think that we don't get these actively. I don't know exactly what the cadence is for us getting these trial board decisions.
Oh. So what's that regarding the least complete?
Say that again, Alicia.
I'm sorry, say again. What was the
So the recommendation that I'm making here was to enhance the flow of information from LEAs and the ACC to the board. So I'm saying we don't have written decisions from the ACC, and we also don't have a feedback loop to the trial board outcome. So I'm wanting to reinstate the ACC committee's written decisions to the board and receive some kind of feedback for the trial board.
I think that's very strong. And I think that that's exactly what we have been concerned about. And the community has raised those concerns.
But what Forrest is saying is that we now have all of the trial board decisions, which I haven't seen, but I don't think that still I don't think that answers the question of when did we receive those? Are we receiving them
Correct.
after the trial board is ending, or
Correct.
what cadence?
I think you are perfectly on point on this.
Yes, after the trial board ends, we send out a request and see if they're willing to provide the information to us.
Yeah, and it's who is willing? The law
Right.
enforcement agency?
Right.
Trial board members.
Oh, trial
Right.
board members.
But again, if we're depending on their willingness, like we depended on the ACC's willingness to continue submitting their decisions to us, you see what I'm saying? I agree with George that it's dubious. It's not definite.
I
Okay,
agree.
maybe willingness was a bad maybe willingness was a bad word. I don't think
But
they are required to do it. So
they
Yeah.
are not. They're
Send
not
us-
required to do
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
That's the
We're
problem.
wanting
They're
that to be
not.
the case. It's to
Yeah.
have someone be required, and maybe
Yeah.
that's the law enforcement agency.
Yeah.
Any other opinions?
Nope, it's good.
Good. Roll with it.
Yep.
So I'm saying requiring agencies. Should I be more explicit and say law enforcement agencies?
Yes. Always. I would always say LEAs. You put LEAs in parentheses after you've stated law enforcement agency the first time, and stay consistent
Yeah,
throughout.
I've
You
done
know.
that here. I'd have to like check back, but
Yeah. Stay consistent. Because folks.
I already
Yeah.
noted that for the report.
Yeah. Because
okay.
folks.
Thank you, Laura.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if this is the extent to which this is necessary. Like, Forrest is asking if these recommendations are to change the law at the state or local level. I mean, in my thinking of this is going to the county council and county executive.
Correct.
So,
Can you add a statement to that effect, George?
to what?
That this may necessitate a change in the law. We would like the county council to consider that.
Sure. So rethink the board.
Like somewhere like there, like wherever.
If we okay, that's I agree with you, but it's a big enough thing that don't want to bury the lead.
Right.
That might be, we might say that this matter shall be or may be addressed in separate correspondence.
I mean, otherwise we can add it to the first line of the recommendation, which is enhance the flow of information.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Mhm.
Legislative changes may be in order.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm thinking like just making it more like actionable. How do I do that?
And because just between us, I've had someone who works with a council member literally state that to me. It's like, why don't you guys advocate for ... regarding changes in the law, because you need to have access to ...
Something like this, change. I mean, I'm not sure, but change the county law.
Would you put it at the end of this sentence and say this may require?
At the end of this legislative changes.
Well, what I was gonna do this. You guys tell me.
Yeah, I see what you're doing. Yeah.
Consider, or I don't know if we should say,
Yeah.
change county law to enhance the flow of information, and then we explain why. this is at least how I do it in my day
We
job.
we request that the council
No, we
consider,
recommend,
or we
or-
recommend that
yeah.
the council consider changes
But this is also
to
the
the
county
current law.
executive. So I don't want to necessarily say in each of these, well, we could say for all of these, consider consider law or changes to the law that enhance the flow of information, that standardize complaint forms, that clarify, like that kind of thing, that require LEAs to clarify the most frequently cited rules. So maybe it could be, sorry, it could be something where we say up here, like the PAB,
recommends the following to be considered.
something like that. Yeah, recommends the following actions to be considered
by legislative action.
Okay. Does this work?
Mm-hmm.
We recommend that change.
Yeah,
Just be very plain. We need changes to the law.
Well,
And
not
I'm trying to say it in a way that sounds wonderful and elegant, but we want to be as plain as possible.
Well, not every one of these recommendations requires a legislative change. For example,
Right.
411.2 is standardized complaint. You know, we don't. So I don't want to go to legislative action.
Just take out the word legislative and consider actions. Just take the word legislative out.
I agree. For
to be considered.
For action by the council or whatever. I also think that we need to keep a takeaway list, us, not them, to come back to all this and say, these are our recommendations. This is a separate document. These are the things we're telling you up front that we think you need to consider.
Correct. So we have this document itself, and correct, Richard, we do need to follow up with, hey, what's your response?
Richard, you say a side letter?
We will follow up after they have received. Hello, yeah.
Right. I think that we can let this fly. As we go through this, but that take a pause, and then write another letter and say, "Here's what we recommended."
Right. What's going on?
Here's where we want you to go.
Mm-hmm. Like what part was not clear? Right.
Yeah, that's a good thought. What was not clear?
I'm a little punchy today. The kids.
Yeah. Well, we're almost
dealing with teens can make you punchy, you know.
And we're almost
done.
Wonderful.
George has taken the brunt of this.
Right.
That's all right. So I'm asking here if these are state or local law, probably both, but I'm not honestly quite sure. I know that at the state level, the law does not state that the ACC has to provide anything formal. So
right.
I'm just gonna say both, but I'm not sure.
Say
because some of these recommendations
possibly a change. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Chuck.
No, I was just going to say, because some of these recommendations, keep in mind, because we have incorporated cities within the county, any changes that would affect them would have to be done at the state level. It could not be done at the county level because the county would not have.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah, but the county can, while it cannot make anything in conflict with state law, it can certainly expand on state law.
here, Forrest is trying to remind us that there are other ways that people submit complaints so that if they, for example, mail or call or are in the agency itself, that we may not get information, which is good. I think we could specify that this is for online receipt of complaints.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, but I think this is still needed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. What?
I love that my recommendations are right at the end because it, in the event, since the agencies have been asking us pointedly, what policy recommendations are you making regarding what you're seeing? Well, here it is. So it's great that I feel like it's a perfect compliment
Yeah.
to finish off this report.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I think some of that coincides, or these are your recommendations coming up, I think.
Yep. That's what Lisa did. We talked
Yeah.
about.
Okay, so here are some of the edits, mostly copy edits right now. The categories used are defined by the policies.
Yeah, I see a typo. That's fine.
Okay,
Grammar,
still good.
a grammar
I'm looking
correction.
at
That's fine.
Yep.
Forrest comments.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. I don't
Yeah.
see too much other than the grammar correction. And he wants county residents apostrophe complaints. Okay,
And
that's fine.
that's all good stuff.
Yes,
Diction and language is fine.
this is fine. This is fine.
You got through the comments already?
There aren't really any comments. Are there some? Is there something I'm missing?
Yeah, I see 2 comments.
Oh, here he is. The category. Let me read these.
Take your time.
I do not. It is not easy to understand for sometimes. I don't. Do you all understand what he's saying here?
I'm
Oh
rereading
my
it now.
lord.
No, I don't really.
Technically, any conceivable violation that would satisfy the MPAA definition, what, would also be captured by individual LEA's conformance to law policy. I next. Okay. You may issue more opinions related to allegations about.
Asking to say,
Yeah.
asking to say plain language.
Do you understand what he's saying? Because maybe you all can help me. Because
No, I'm reading now too because
I'm a second language person, but I don't know what.
So what Forrest is saying for the second one, at least,
Oh,
is that
yes.
use of force happened, the violations, although you're saying here that the use of force cases grew in 2025, the incidents themselves did not occur in 2025.
But that goes back to
I
what we were
see,
saying
but
about trying to track things by incident date rather than complaint date.
Right. So maybe
yeah,
here we can confirm the number.
Yeah, I used the same data. I didn't use anything different. So I used exactly the same data. So what's your suggestion? What do you want to do?
Oh shit, sugar.
Do you know what I mean? What would you like to do?
We have to do the same thing all through the report, whatever it is.
Right. But I'm asking George.
I
Yeah,
know.
isn't it
I'm
incident
asking.
date?
I think we should. I think we should use, yeah, the incident um, date for these because that's what's really telling us when these things are happening in real life. Um, But I think what that will mean for this recommendation is that you won't be able to say use of force cases grew significantly in 2025
Okay.
unless you say that the committee, like the ACC, issued more opinions of use of force
Do
cases.
that for me, please. Can you make that edit right now, please?
Say that again.
Can you make that edit that you're stating right now?
Um, yeah, I'll just have Forrest because this is what I think he's trying to say, but I'll have him
So
confirm.
put it in there what you think he's trying to say, because I do not understand what he's saying. Uh, 2025 and clarify when that incidents did not grow and
Occur.
Occur.
okay.
So that
The
we would have to
ACC
say,
opinions grew, right?
yeah, exactly. We would have to say that the opinions of the ACC as it related to U.S. use of force grew, but that the incidents themselves did not.
Okay.
Which I don't know if that is what we need here, but that's what I'm trying to clarify.
Okay.
Same here for the next one.
Hmm.
It's the same
Well,
thing.
then we, okay. Well, then, so possibly these, in my opinion, the meetings we've attended, the back and forth with the chiefs meetings, I have not gotten adequate responses regarding changes to their de-escalation policy. I have watched the body-worn camera footage of the residents who were killed, the police killings, and we asked them repeatedly if they could state with specificity what their de-escalation um, process is, their training is, and what changes have been made, and they do not have an answer. So I don't think it's I don't think it's not I don't think it's negligible. I think it's something that should be included. Now, if Forrest is saying we can't connect that to any kind of substantiation from the data,
I
then
mean, I'm just, yeah, I think that
is that what
what
he's saying?
I think so. I think what we should be asking for is to adjust this accordingly then, because I'm not sure exactly um, what this will mean.
Okay.
So you're saying, that vice and discrimination rose in 2024. He's saying that there were more decisions made in 2024. But
Involving allegations. So then that's the language that he wants in there. So let's put that there. The
well, I'm just
committee
going to have
rendered
him.
a the committee rendered a larger number of decisions in 2024 involving allegations
Hopefully this
in the
helps.
bias discrimination category than in 2023 or 2025.
Hmm.
And see, then him getting into the weeds of what's only eligible for committee review, and see, is the rest of that helpful? And if you guys think it is, then yeah, let him.
I'm processing as you
I'm
say.
trying to, because he's got.
So I think what he's saying is that there are, oh man,
As a
23 allegations in
Right,
2024 across 9 cases
right.
versus 17 allegations across 13 cases in 2025.
Okay.
So it would seem to me like if you look at the end, those cases arose from the following number of complaints each year at the end. 2023, 9, 2024, 13, and 2. Yeah, honestly, I'm not sure. Um,
The number of cases should be irrelevant to what the ask is.
well, I know, I think in this case, yeah, I'm not sure if it's cases or allegations, because we're saying bias and discrimination is a category.
Mm-hmm.
um, of
I think the data that I had was forwarded by Greg. He shared was complaints,
Yeah.
not decisions of the AC. Because remember, we didn't have the ACC decisions. This is all complaints.
And so, and what you're
or it would
saying,
be allegations in that case, I think.
yeah, a complaint allegation. Is that what you're saying?
We don't need to say complaint allegation, guys. Just say complaints. You don't need to say.
No, because I think
You
the
don't
issue
need
is
to
that
say allegations.
a complaint will not come saying that, like, if you had an issue with an officer, maybe you mention bias or discrimination, but that I think that categorization happens at the ACC level or at the
LEAs.
at the LEA, exactly, at the LEAs with the specific rule that's being violated. Not like we're not asking the residents to tell us what rule the officer violated. Like the LEA will tell us that based
So,
on whatever it
Greg,
is that the complainant
I,
said.
but
help me out here.
okay.
What in
Here's
this?
what
Yeah.
here's what I'm going to say. A complaint is a complaint. We as a PAB, we're supposed to make recommendations based on two
Mm-hmm.
factors.
Mm-hmm.
One, the complaint that comes down the pipe, and two, what comes out on the other end as it goes to adjudication. We can still make a recommendation based on a complaint,
Because that's all we have. That's all we
independent,
have.
independent of what comes out of adjudication.
Correct. And I know what the language of the MPAA states. George has placed in there, not a disclaimer, but he has stated clearly that we don't have the ACC decisions.
Mhm.
This data is based on the complaints received.
So what we're saying is, as an LEA, as an officer, based
Mm-hmm.
upon complaints, we're making X recommendation.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's upon the council to then act upon it one way or the other, but we're saying based upon the complaint, because we don't always see what comes out on the back end.
Now, if you think it's not helpful because it's not an outcome of an ACC decision, I
Give
get
me a
that.
second. Let me get the data here so I
Yeah.
can better understand where you're coming from.
But it's the same data you guys have. Greg has.
Yeah, what I did, I pulled it and ran an analysis on it and kicked it over.
I'm sorry.
And all I did was add language.
I was trying to read that very first point about the implicit bias training. Is that directed at a officer in question, or is that directed at those who would be reviewing the complaints?
What? I'm sorry.
I would have
One,
actually
one
said,
second, just
Yeah, I was trying to read.
George, can you share the screen again so we're still looking at the document?
Just a second here. So this is just wanted to show you. This is part of what we have. Share my screen again. As far as I understand, and I don't know everything, this is what we have as it relates to complaints.
Right.
yeah,
Okay, so in
Yeah.
here, there is nothing that is telling us what is the complaint against.
Exactly.
To do that, we would need to go into the link here and actually see the complaint. And so what I'm saying is there's two other things that we could look at. One is this allegation view, which in here we do see what is the reference charge, the category. So if it's, use of force, if it's whatever it is. So
Okay.
this is part of the manipulation that we had to do to make sure that whatever the complaint in the ACC, like whatever the case in the ACC has as the violation from the officer, translates into something that we can use, like use of force. So that's why I think it's important to note that saying complaints on its own is a little, for me at least,
Gotcha. So
to
then let's
understand.
use. I
okay,
hear you.
it's
Then
too broad. You're saying it's too broad.
Let's default back
Yeah.
to allegations then.
Okay,
Let's
so
default.
that's fine. That's what I
Yeah.
included. Let me see where this is at now. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
included allegations versus cases,
Yes.
Okay.
just to make sure. Okay,
Yes.
Okay, and sorry, Chuck, you were reading something in here when I pulled that away.
Yeah, the first bullet point under allegations, MPTSC
Yeah,
certified
right here.
implicit bias training for 2-year refresher cycle. There's training would be an additional training aside from the current implicit.
Right, because there's a current implicit bias.
And my question was,
Yeah.
is that directed at the officer in question, or is that
Officers.
directed officers in question, or is that directed at the officers who are reviewing? I'm sorry, somebody's
No.
knocking on the door.
Yeah,
Who are
these
reviewing?
recommendations are for the officers in the LEAs, all the officers, since
Forgive me,
all,
excuse me one
yeah,
minute.
yeah.
Okay.
So, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
All the officers are required to take implicit bias training. It's a lovely training. I've attended it. Amy Dom does the training. We've even met with her. I've met with her once on the Policing Advisory Commission, and we met with her. Greg and I,
Yep.
and Catherine met with her. Lovely person, interesting, very interesting little session. However, you know, it's my opinion that it's not detailed and rigorous enough. And
Oh, this is
oh, I see what Forrest is saying down here. That's great. That is a good idea. This may not be discretionary, even if training. Okay. Let me read that. This may be required to conduct a formal and even for the public while they require remedial training appear to require that they only do so. Okay, but Forrest, you don't need let them tell us what they are going to do and not going to do. There's a little bit of sometimes there's pushback from Forrest that some of it is safeguards and sometimes it impedes us moving on discussion and active discussion with the LEAs. This is not an attaboy. You know, there is need for changes. There are some problems.
Yeah, what you're saying, and I concur, is that if we fall in line and put what we think will be safe and they will agree to,
Right.
versus
Then
putting
we're
out
not
there,
doing anything. We're not doing our job.
Yeah, you put the statement, here's what we believe. If they're uncomfortable with it, so be it. Then
Right.
one has to act upon it and not ignore it.
Right.
Any edits to any of this at this point?
Let me see this last comment. Another fascinating subject.
Oh, okay, right here.
I didn't get to read that. Another fascinating during the MPA, there was thought given to whether plea bargain. What? No, Forrest. Let's stay on Route 55. You know, people who are really brilliant, it's hard. You know, their minds, woo!
Force is lawyering versus
Stay
just
on Route 55 as prosecutor and the respondent. The trial board determined that it has the right.
Force is lawyering. He's got his legal head on and saying,
yeah, and that these are great. You know, we're not doing a dissertation.
Okay, so nothing to add or subtract here.
No.
Okay. Added some descriptions here, but other than that,
it looks like
this is it. So one question that I would have for you before we go into the appendix is whether we should combine these recommendations. Because I feel like there's
some that are duplicative.
Some of them are overlapping, yeah. So I feel like we can take this whole thing.
Yes, agreed.
Okay.
And I defer to you, George, to
merge.
Subsume. Yes.
I'm not gonna do that, to be honest, guys. I'm gonna ask the staff to merge these.
Subsume, okay. And merge, right, blend.
Right.
Folks, I'm going to have to beg. I got an incident that occurred here.
Yeah, well, I think we're finished, Chuck,
Yeah, thank you,
George,
Chuck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Richard, Lisa,
Thank you.
and yeah, because everyone else has bailed on us.
Yeah.
Well, one
Oh,
more
they
thing I think
did?
is important
Oh
before
my
everyone
God.
drops, actually. If you guys could give me 5 minutes, because I think we need to agree as a board
Yeah.
on what we will provide the public as it relates to raw data. So we've gone through the whole thing.
Yeah.
Now we just need to go to the appendix. And this is the information that is laid out to append. So the complainant information, whether it's associated with a case, and whether if there's a decision for the case, the zip code for the location of the incident, when the board received all of this information, year and month, demographics,
Mm-hmm.
case information, so
Mm-hmm.
the committee's case number, the
Mm-hmm.
LEA, again, the time for the committee issuing its opinion, all of the metrics that we went through, so
Mm-hmm.
the number of officers accused,
Mm-hmm.
charged, allegations, all the
Mm-hmm.
allegations that resulted in specific outcomes.
This is all excellent because I'm seeing us really responding to community
Yeah,
questions and concerns.
allegation level data, everything is in here.
Yeah.
You covered every point
Yeah.
that has historically been brought up, which we do
Yeah.
not have the
Yeah.
references
Okay.
to address.
So there's a lot of information in here, along with a lot of the rules from the LEAs. All of this is good?
Yes.
Yes, that's good.
Okay.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
because I can see particularly one group for sure we're now going to go through that with the fine tooth
With
comb,
a fine tooth comb.
and we need to address that, which is the right thing to address because they've been asking for that, and the other groups also.
Yeah.
Okay, so just to make this formal, we all vote aye, do we? Let's just make a motion for this.
I move
Please, go
that
ahead.
I move that we take what we have gone through this evening, reviewed, and approve that it moves forward with final
And it's
final
coming from staff. Yeah.
from staff. Thank you.
I'll second that.
Can I make an amendment to say that we also approve the appendix as laid out in this document?
Yes.
Second, yes.
Second.
Okay, so all those in favor to make the data available in the appendix to the public and have the staff edit according to our commentary. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
And
Any
we-
nays? In favor and in favor. Okay, ayes have it. So this is the end of our meeting.
Yay.
Let me go back. Sorry, let me go back to the agenda to make sure that we're following that. Where's the agenda? Okay, so now there was the item to include the funding of the related recommendations in the annual report. I think what we went over with like the ad hoc group for the
Yes,
specific,
we did. Yeah, I think
yeah,
we
the
did.
specific but funding related items. Beyond that, I think we just need a motion to adjourn.
I move that we adjourn this meeting.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. And then any nays? No nays. With that in mind, this meeting is adjourned. Keeping in mind our next meeting update, Laura, could you confirm that for us?
It's the 19th, 18th, 19th.
Yes, it's December 18th.
18th.
7
Thank you.
o'clock.
Right. 18th. I saw
So
that. Yeah.
next week,
7.
Thursday. So we'll be able to have another chat about the report then, I'm sure.
Laura, is that on the sixth floor conference room?
Not sure yet. It's either going to be
Yeah.
6th floor or the lot or the auditorium.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
George,
Good night.
just one thing. I'm sorry. What's our deadline? When does our report have to be submitted? What's the date? What's the hard?
The report has to be published by the end of the year, December 31st.
Gotcha.
Okay, so it will be finalized any last minutes next week.
Okay.
Thanks for all your work, George.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Just the same.
Tremendous.
Thanks,
Laura,
everybody.
I'm going to email you the draft that I was typing up here. I'm going to just email that back to you, okay? So you can upload it.
Correct.
Super.
Okay.
Okay. Thank
All
you,
right. Good
everyone.
night, everyone.
Thank
Have a
you.
good night.
All right.
Bye. Good night, everybody.
Thank you. Good night.